What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Off the Mic Sports Network. So, obviously, the big story in the NFL in Week 1, just concluding, is that the Buffalo Bills somehow, some way, pull out a win despite being down 15 points with under 4 minutes to go in this game. Somehow find a way to get a fourth down tip pass caught in the end zone. They get a fumble recovery. They don't get 3 2-point conversions. Somehow are able to stop the Ravens, get the ball, and have a kicker who literally showed up off the street 3 days ago in Matt Prater, who is a veteran and has done it for a long time. Get it done. They win 41-40. They're 1-0. After it looked like they weren't going to win the game, but that was an unbelievable football game. But I want to talk about the Baltimore Ravens here for a second. Everybody knows I'm a Browns fan. It's very easy for me to hate on the Ravens, I get some sort of childhood glee out of it. That being said, the Browns are screwed next week. The Browns are screwed next week. I think they're already almost a 2-touchdown underdog after losing, and believe me, I will have some thoughts on the Cleveland Browns here on their channel. Because inexcusable loss of the highest order happened against the Cincinnati Bengals to open their season at Huntington Bank Field or whatever the fuck we call it. But go to Highmark Stadium. The Ravens, as I've said, I think the Ravens are one of the best teams in the NFL. It's harder and harder to hate on Lamar Jackson. I have the utmost respect for John Harbaugh. Derrick Henry is a fucking cyborg. Mark Andrews, my diabetic brother, they've got dudes all over the place. Kyle Hamilton was built in a lab too. They've got dudes all over the place. This is one of the best rosters in the NFL. But at a certain point, you've got to wonder if fate is on their side. Because I was talking with a buddy of mine, Aaron Torres, who before the end of this game, when it looked like Baltimore was going to win this football game, said that, hey, provided health is good, Baltimore's going to win the Super Bowl this year. And the only team that really could stop them is Philadelphia. And I said to him, I was like, listen, man, last year, they haven't been able to overcome themselves. And he said, yeah, listen, the reality of the situation is they outplayed Buffalo last year. And it came down to a drop by Mark Andrews on the field, and then also a drop in the end zone on a 2-point conversion that would have tied the game and ultimately sent it to overtime. It's just, listen, this Ravens team is way too good to keep, falling short. They're way too good to keep, having these stumbling blocks. They have always been notoriously since they won that Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. This has been a really good regular season team. John Harbaugh is a great coach. And since Lamar Jackson took over this team has won a lot of games. But all they've been able to parlay that into is one AFC Championship game appearance. One. And last year was as great of a season as Lamar Jackson has had, and they came up short. They had some mistakes that cost them games. Obviously the year before, they had the AFC Championship game in their house against a Kansas City Chiefs team that, a lot of people thought was not very good. They ended up winning the Super Bowl, but this was a team that had to win multiple road games just to get to the Super Bowl. And Zay Flowers fumbled the ball on the goal line, and that was really ultimately the deciding factor in the Kansas City Chiefs going to that Super Bowl, and ultimately they beat the San Francisco 49ers in that Super Bowl that year. Last year, they could have very easily been in the same spot and would have faced Kansas City at Arrowhead. And who knows what would have happened there. Buffalo didn't win that game. And Buffalo's got their own hurdle to clear in Kansas City. But we've seen this now multiple times, that this team performs very well in the regular season. And their demons come back to them in the playoffs. So it's something. It's always something. My buddy Aaron Torres said, yeah, health provided. This isn't even a health thing. This is hey, do you have fate on your side? Do you have the football gods looking after you? And the Ravens, for as well run as they are and as talented as they are, have had so many great regular season feats. Lamar Jackson's won 2 fucking MVPs. And they've got one AFC Championship game since he got into the NFL in 2018. At what point do the Ravens clear the hurdle? And this, I'm not saying that this is, a sign of things to come. I still think the Ravens are going to, frankly, run away with this division. I don't think Cincinnati's that good. I think, I may have underrated the Steelers a little bit. Aaron Rodgers looks like he has something left in the tank. Their defense worries me, and the Browns suck. They're going to win the North. They're going to be in the playoffs. But none of that matters. None of that matters if they can't get past Kansas City and Buffalo. And again, in a big time spot, up 15 points on the road, dominating for most of this game. At the crucialest point of the game, Derrick Henry fumbled the ball. It's just at what point does it become, hey, football God's looking after you? Lamar Jackson may win another MVP this year, but that is a game that you can't lose. And if this came up in the playoffs, it would be 10 times worse. 15 points. You had the whole offseason to think about what happened in that very stadium in the snow last year. You had the game in hand. Hell, you stopped 3 2-point conversions and still couldn't beat the Buffalo Bills. If you're a Ravens fan, even as accomplished as this organization has been, winning multiple Super Bowls, you've got to wonder if not now, if not this year, when? So hopefully they get this thing righted if you're a Ravens fan, but this is just the same old Ravens when it comes to being in heavyweight prize fights. They're going to be better than 90% of the NFL. As I've said, it's going to come down to them in Buffalo in the AFC. And frankly, those are the two best teams in the NFL. Like, you probably have Green Bay and Philadelphia as an argument for that, but to me, it really comes down to those two teams. And in the biggest moments, Baltimore found a way to lose this game. They're not a bad team. They're like, it's not finding ways to lose because you're a bad team. Like, championship teams find ways to close these type of games out, whether they're down, whether they're up. And for whatever reason, in high pressure spots against Buffalo, they've had the problem with Buffalo. They've had the problem with Kansas City. If you can't beat one or both of those teams, you're not getting to the Super Bowl. So they better get this fixed. They better think about this the whole offseason and hope to God that they face them in the playoffs, whether it's in Baltimore, whether it's in Buffalo. Because this loss can't happen. And I know a lot of people in Baltimore are going to be really upset with what happened here tonight because, like I said, Lamar Jackson's an exceptional player. He really is a special football player. Probably first or second best player in the NFL right now. Him and Josh Allen. You saw it. This was a Super Bowl. And they didn't close this game out. You're up by 25. You're up by 15 points on the road with 4 minutes to go. You've got to win. It's always something with the Ravens. And this was the regular season game. They've been doing this in the playoffs for years, coming up short. No excuses this year for the Ravens. There's none. There's no reason why this team can't go win a Super Bowl. The only thing stopping the Baltimore Ravens is themselves. That's the only thing. And that's what ultimately lost the game. Buffalo is that damn good. But Baltimore should have won this game. So, anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.